Hey everybody, I am going live right now. Hey everybody, I'm going to go live a few minutes early today because last week I was a few minutes late. So I'm going live now to make sure I've worked out all the kinks and all of that good stuff. So don't get concerned if you're seeing me live. You're like, wait, she said 1:15. I don't like this. This is a pre-show. So if you come early, you get the pre-show of the CFJ Coaching Success School show. So this is the pre-show. Anybody who's here. Um, Today, we're going to talk about some really fun stuff. I'm going to take questions, and maybe even someone will come on live for some coaching. I don't know yet, but that's a strong possibility. So today is Tuesday. It's April 6th, and this is episode number 2 of the CFJ Coaching Success School show. And some people have asked me, like, well, why? Why are you doing a show now, Carolyn? I'm doing a show because, number one, I think Facebook Live and Instagram Live is one of the best ways to serve people in the moment, right? It's like coaches can pop on, they can ask questions, they can disappear. It's all good. There is nothing that you can't ask here, right, about how to grow your business, right? People, this is an area, whether you're new to the profession, brand new, some people, or whether you're down the path and you're like, wow, I've plateaued. How do I get from where I'm at now to the next level? It's like any question is game here. So I'm excited to have done this properly, because it's actually live. I can see that the timing is going down, but I'm also excited because we had lots of new people last week who came who did not know, and I love that. I love when there's new people. And one of the questions that was asked last week that I'm going to go into more depth on this week is the question of, what do you do when you feel like you've run out of people to talk to? Like, what if you've already invited people? Maybe you feel like you've had conversations with all the people that you know. Hey, Farnaz, I'm glad you're here. And I love that question of like, well, how does one expand one's pool? So we're going to go into that today. I'm also going to share a story of, I had an experience yesterday of being in an environment where I felt like the person was too salesy for me. And my own reaction inside and how I handled it. And I thought a lot about sharing this story today and what it was like for me and why that is such an issue for coaches, right? Without even knowing it. Some of us don't even know that we're being um, sticky and maybe needy and all of those things that people naturally, without even having words for it, just kind of want to go, please, I don't know. I don't want to do this with you right now. So I had my own experience of that yesterday that I'm going to share about in the context of the coaching profession and what happens for us. So we are at 1:14. It's going to be officially starting at 1:15, and I will give us an opening, and then I'll take questions, and we have lots and lots of fun things to talk about today. So welcome, first of all, if this is going to be your first time being here at the CFJ Coaching Success School show. I've been getting friended by many, many people who clearly are connected to other coaches who've already come to the show, or they know about the CFJ Coaching Success School, or they just know about my work with coaches and my long-time connection to Mr. Steve Chandler, who was and is my coach who changed my life, and also my business partner, Michelle Bauman, who passed away about 5 years ago. We started this journey together as professional coaches. So here we go. It is 1:15. Welcome to the CFJ Coaching Success School Facebook Live show. This is a 45-minute show where I'm going to take your questions. You can share them in the comments. You can ask anything you want. And if you have a situation you want to get some live coaching on, maybe we can make that happen today. First of all, my name is Carolyn Freyer-Jones. Some people call me CFJ, some people call me Carolyn. Either of those work. So Carolyn Freyer-Jones, I have been coaching for now close to 20 years, and I've been working with coaches for, gosh, probably close to 12 to 13 years. And I had no plans, just so everyone knows, to ever become a full-time coach. I had a job, I had a paycheck, I thought that was life. And I had never considered the possibility of being an entrepreneur, of having my own business. And I never in a million years thought I could actually like create my own income and make that happen and manage my own business. So I am here first and foremost to say that if you are in the camp of, I don't know, like, is this doable for someone who doesn't appear very business-like or doesn't have that in their background? Yes. I happily earned a paycheck for many, many years. I had no idea what it meant to like create my own money and really learn how to turn the flame up and make more money when I needed it and learn how to turn the flame down. So that is one of the most amazing things to get to learn how to do. When Steve Chandler taught myself and Michelle Bauman how to do that, and we started to know how to do that, like, wow, we need money, family vacation. I want to create that. To know how to do that is one of the most extraordinary and amazing things that you can learn how to do for yourself. And you do not. I was bad at math, number one, all my life. I was told that like there were real problems and I might not survive my lifetime without with my grades in math. And funny conversation I just had recently with my mom, who is currently living in Los Angeles for just a little while longer. We were taking a walk. This is my 86-year-old mom, and she said to me, like, I didn't realize like I didn't realize like you had people who worked with you in the school that you pay. And I said, yeah. And she said, wow, you must really be successful. And I was like, I guess, Mom. I mean, compared to some, maybe. Compared to others, not so much. And then she goes, wow, I never thought this would happen for you. This is my own mom. And I was like, tell me more. She said, well, listen, you didn't get such great grades. I mean, I thought you'd have an office job, but I never thought you would like be doing what you're doing with the success that you have. So I laughed hysterically, right? And I immediately talked to my brother. I was like, wow, Mom had a pretty low bar for me, and I seem to have passed it. And he got a big kick out of that, and so did I. So look, my own family, my own mother didn't think, like, she thought I'd have a decent job, which I had, but she never thought I'd be able to do what I'm doing. So if your own mother doesn't even think you can do it, you can do it, right? It just takes time and effort. Time and effort. So I want to open it up. If you're here and you have questions, throw them in the comments, okay? Because I'm going to start with the question that was given to me last week. I think it was from Brianna, who said to me, what do you do when you run out of people? What do you do when you run out of people to talk to? And I thought it was a great question, especially because most coaches hit a point where that occurs, where they're like, oh my gosh, you know, the people I know from my former professional community, I feel like I've connected with them and I don't have a lot of new community. How do I do this? And so I want to slow that down. So that's natural. First of all, I want to say that many, many coaches hit a point where all of a sudden they've either connected with the people they know, whether it's from a former job or whether it's like their gym community, or maybe you're a parent and you've done some connecting with fellow parents and you're like, now what? Now what do I do? Which is an amazing point, right? Because that's the point where a coach has to say, I get to grow my community. I get to grow my community. Now, to grow a community, you have to be willing to actually do stuff to grow your community. So growing our community doesn't mean hiding out at home, watching Netflix, even if you love Netflix. It does not mean not being willing to put effort into growing a community. So the coaches in my school right now, when we're in the pandemic, many of them have created live complimentary webinars where they will work with people on something. So they might do, I have someone in the school right now, she is looking at doing an event to help people transition into post-pandemic life, right? So it's like we're all in this place, this really interesting place of like, we're going to start heading back out. Who am I now? Where will my life go? And so she is creating this fantastic event. And her intention is to grow her community, right? She's going to serve people in the community, but she's going to have something to talk about. So she can invite people. She can share about it. She can say to people who already know her, hey, do you have a friend who would want to come to this? I'll let you bring a friend. So that is one of the greatest ways to grow your community, is especially now, like live webinars, and make them complimentary and make it something that you would want to go to. Like, I don't want to do webinars that I myself would not want to go to. Like I'd be like, not so much. Now, if you're excited about it, you're going to share about it in an excited way. If you're not excited about it, like I get excited about helping people make money and helping them move beyond where they are. That's why I work with coaches and I work with business owners. It's like, I love when someone starts to see they can do this and learn how. I mean, look at me. My own mother was like, really? I don't know about you, Carolyn. I'm shocked. But look at me. Like, I can do math. I know how to add up money in my bank account. So if it can happen for me, so I love that. And I'm excited to talk about it, right? What are you excited about? All right, Isabel, I'm going to answer your question. What's your go-to guiding ledger for yourself when you want to make money? I love that. And Claire Marie, I'm glad you found us. Okay, so my go-to guiding ledger for myself when I want to make money, like let's say I need to create money for something, is I'm gonna create a client, right? Because that's the fastest route for a coach to make money. It's not offering a group, because a group you have to plan and then you have to set dates and then you have to fill the group, right? Whereas me serving an individual right now, I can do, right? There are people I can be like, hey, let's talk. You know what I mean? Let's start to have a conversation. So Isabel, that's like what I do. Like, I'm like, if I need money, my coach, Steve Chandler, always said to me, if you need money, let's slow down and look at who are the people you've served before, right? Who already knows you. So when we need to make money quickly, a new person we need to take time with. This is a slowed down business, right? We don't create clients in a minute, even if other kinds of places are telling you you can create 6 figures in 4 months or less as a professional coach. That's not accurate. That was not my world. That's not many coaches' worlds I know. So at the minimum, it's like, it's a slowed down business. It's a relationship building business. It's a nurturing business. Asia, thank you. I don't get often called a queen, so I'll take it. Hello, Ed. So I want to, if I'm looking to create money and I need to create it quickly, I want to look at who are all the people I've served for, if I've been at this a while, right? Or even a year. It's like, who have I already worked with as a client? Who has already paid me money to help them with their transformation? So that's important, right? Number one, so you want to do that. Number two, it's like, then you want to slow down and think about them, right? Because I don't want to just do this willy-nilly, like, oh, okay, I'm going to reach out. It's like, I want to be thoughtful. So the people I've served, I want to think about, right? I want to be like, okay, so who do I know that I've already served? And I'm going to think about this. Okay, so let's say I have served, Farnaz, who is here, who's actually a student in my school. So I would think about what I know in Farnaz's life, right? What have we worked on? I want to be thoughtful in how I reach out to her. I might want to ask her a question. I might be like, hey, how is it going teaching at the university? Is that still happening for you as you're growing your business, right? People want to feel seen, and they want to feel like you're not just reaching out to them. Nobody wants to feel like you have dollar signs in your head, right? That doesn't feel good on the other side of that. So you want to think about people who you've served, who you're like, what do I know about them? I wonder what's happening in their world. curiosity, genuine curiosity, is an incredible thing. Genuine curiosity, okay? Not, I'm going to share my story now that happened to me yesterday. Jessica, good to see you. I was at an outdoor mall with my daughter and her friend, who is a teen. And I took them to the mall, to the very not crowded mall with our masks because they had the afternoon off. And they took off for 2 hours and I went off by myself. I haven't been in a mall, like, first of all, by myself, but secondly, with the pandemic, I haven't done any of that. So I went and I was walking around and I went into a store that I love, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, there was like nobody there. And they have some new pants that I really was like, I'm going to try these on. Normally I would have bought them online and just risked it. But I was like, I'm in a store. I can try stuff on. This is amazing. There was a woman, a salesperson, who like came over to me. It was like, oh, let me help you with that. And I immediately was sort of like, please don't do that with me. Please don't. And she helped me get a dressing room, which was a requirement. But then she said this, come out and show me what you look like with those on. Come out. And it felt so inauthentic that I was like, I'm not coming out. You're not going to get to look at me in these pants. No. And I was like violent inside. My sales resistance was so strong. And I said, no, you're not. No, you don't get to see me in my pants that I'm trying on. Very few do, by the way, but you don't. So what happened there? Let's slow that down. So you may be like, well, what's the matter? She was doing her job, right? She was, but see, this is where she missed an opportunity. She did not say to me, how are you doing today? And I could have said, I'm good. And she could have said, listen, would you like some help? And it's totally fine if you don't. But if you'd like some help, I'm willing to help if you need something. So that right there is something that coaches don't generally do that is really important. If she had said to me, listen, I don't know if you need help, but if you want help, if you want to change a size, or if you just want me to look at what you have on and you may be good, I'm here. Would that have been a different experience for me? I would have been like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I don't feel accosted by you. I don't feel like you're coming at me and there's no room. People want room. They do not want to feel like you're going after them. They don't want to feel like you're not being real. And this is a big one that coaches need to take time to learn. Have no agenda. See, if she had said, look, you don't need me, it's great. I would have been like, wow, she really means that. I want her help. She has a cute outfit on. We have to really allow people space and mean it. It's like, if I want to be a trusted source of transformation for someone, it needs to be like, I have no agenda. Like, I am here to assist and it's okay if you don't want it, right? Because I'm not the one who needs something. So this is important. I'm not the one who needs something. And even if I need money right at this moment, I don't need your money, right? I might need money, but I don't need your money. So that's really important so that we can really be in service. It's really important, right? When I mean that, when I write to someone and I write to Farnaz and I say, hey, how are you doing? How's it going with teaching and creating your practice? I mean it. I'm not making it up. I care. People need to feel we really care and we have no agenda other than serving. If you came into this profession to serve, learning how to do this is critical. It is really the difference between learning how to make money and learning how to struggle. Learning how to struggle. So I want to pause here and see, does anyone have any questions based on what I'm sharing, right? I want to slow it down. There's no rush, right? Because it's only 1:29. We have a whole 30 minutes to talk. And I'm here to answer your questions. So really getting, like, I just had an email exchange with a coach who said, I've never thought about the idea that do I have an agenda? The way that Devin Bandison, who teaches at my school, who's a great coach, he talks about, like, are you doing a loaded give, right? If I say to someone, hey, you can I'd be happy to talk to you. Is there a loaded give underneath that? Like, oh, I just want money from you at some point, right? And then you might be asking this question because so many people do. Well, but Carolyn, I came into the profession also to make money. Like, I can't just do this for free. I agree. You cannot just do this for free. So that's why it's so important to learn how to connect and put your agenda aside. How to connect and put your agenda aside. It's not that, hey, when I was growing my business, I was very intentional. I was going to make money and I was going to put effort into it. But when I was talking to someone, that agenda was outside the room, right? So my agenda stays outside the room when I'm in conversation with people. And you can put it outside the room. I do want to say that, like, that's a skill you can build. Meaning, you're about to go into a conversation with someone and that thing inside of you is like, I need money, I have to pay my rent. You can actually be like, okay, we're going to leave that outside the room. That's not what matters right now. We'll come back to it, right? That those thoughts and feelings will be waiting there for you. But when you're with someone, you want it to be 100% about them. 100%, not 99, 100% about them and being with them in their world, in their life, right? So I'm going to go back to my story, right, where I was shopping. And I was trying on these pants and I was like, no, I'm not showing them these pants. But there was this other salesperson who had walked by me. And when she saw me with the pants, she's like, those are really cute. I've been wondering, like, what do you wear with those? And I was like, I want her to see them. I want her to see me in these pants. I think she has a good opinion, right? And so I heard her voice and I went out. She was like, oh my God, that really works just with a casual shirt. Here we are in our masks talking. But I wanted to show her because she was so real. She's like, yeah, those pants are really cute. I just don't know what you wear with them. I want to see them. That felt real. So do you see the difference? It was real, right? All right, so Marlon, I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to take your question. You're creating a program for women. You've begun the enrollment process, and it's pretty much crickets. I'm wondering if I should perhaps consider changing the structure to 3 months with a different fee. How to know? I'm going to ask you a question, Marlon, and then you can post your answer in the comments. When did you open up and start doing enrollment? How long has it been crickets for, right? How long? And then my other question is, are you doing personal invitations to people saying, hey, Carolyn, I am doing this amazing group for women about their health. And I thought of you because I remember when we saw each other last year, you had been talking about something going on for you with your fitness and your health. So I just want to talk with you a little bit about this. How's all that going? So I am wondering, number one, when did you start actively enrolling? Has it been 2 weeks? Has it been a month? And then are you doing personal invites? So you answer that in the comments. Melissa, I hear this question is best in person. I have someone who we've never seemed to connect on the telephone. Would sending an email be okay? Absolutely. I mean, if you can't get someone on the phone, for sure, email's totally 100% fine. We want to connect any way we can, okay? Good question, Melissa. I'm so glad you're here. All right, Claire Marie. All right, so first client, I love that. I'm going to come back to you so I can answer Marlon. Okay, so Claire Marie, we're coming back to you. Marlon, 4 days and it's crickets? Come on, that's nothing. 4 days, okay? So, and I'm teasing, Marlon and I know each other. Marlon has worked with me. She worked with Michelle, my beloved business partner back in the day, so I can play with her a little bit. Marlon, 4 days, that's called like welcome to enrollment of a group. It's about more, slowing down and not making initial crickets mean anything. Okay, Farnaz can relate to that too because she's filling an event. It was like, it's so quiet. And I'm like, yeah, it takes time sometimes, right? So personal invites, slowing down, being like filling a group is a different muscle. Like you got to be like, all right, Marlon, you'll relate to this, right? You don't go to the gym once, right? And be like, okay, I'm good. My biceps look amazing. I feel amazing. You got to like go and put in some real work. So you're going to need to put in some real work. Like in 3 weeks, you can tell me at the third, fourth, fifth show, if it's still crickets, right? And I know you have an amazing coach who is going to help you on your personal invites. And this is going to be incredible for you because this is a really important muscle. If a coach wants to do groups, this is a really important muscle to build, okay? I want you to know that. So Marlon, it's just the beginning. All right. Brianna, I'm so glad you're here. I talked a little bit at the beginning about coaches who need to expand their pool, need to do events and create some complimentary events you can invite people to. So a complimentary webinar right now is great. I have a coach in our school, and I love that he did this. He did a week of Facebook Lives, and it was all about like, he's a guy who went from being a teacher to being a coach. So he talked every day about what is it like to leave a job and move towards a job of your dreams. Because he knows how to do that, right? So he did a Facebook Live for a week and new people came and he started to grow his community. So Brianna, you want to come up with either Facebook Live or Instagram Live or a webinar that you're going to do like in 8 weeks that is on a topic you really love that you feel like would really help people, right? That's how we grow communities. And you say to the people you know, hey, do you have one person you can bring? I want to grow one new person. So that's really important. Jessica, can you talk a bit about people who say they want to talk, express lots of positivity multiple times, and then disappear? All right, so this will be good. I love this, the ghosting question, along with, and I'm gonna use this and segue into what Claire Marie is working on, which is getting her first client, which is such an exciting thing. So Jessica, people ghost. It is unfortunately a function of the world we live in now, right? With texting, it's like somehow ghosting and just disappearing has become completely okay. And that there's no sense of like, well, at least saying you're going to go away is maybe a more respectful thing to do. So number one, when people disappear, don't take it personally. Okay, so that's really important as coaches, right? If someone doesn't respond to my email, I remember Michelle and I'd be like, well, she's not responding. Maybe she's mad at us. Maybe she doesn't like us. Maybe she thinks we're not good at this, right? We would make up all these stories about what not hearing from someone meant. And it's not helpful. There's 3 kinds of thoughts. There are helpful thoughts, there are neutral thoughts, and there are thoughts that harm. That's harmful when we start to make up stories and we're losing in the story. Like they don't like me. Maybe they think I'm like, I don't know, I'm not good at this. Maybe I'm bugging them. Those are not helpful. So one of the most powerful things you can do, Jessica, when someone doesn't respond to me, 2 or 3 days, I hit the email reply all, I strip out the subject line and I put 1 question mark in the subject line, just a question mark. And above the email, I put a simple, Dear Jessica, did you receive the below? I haven't heard back from you. We want to be innocent when someone disappears, right? We want to be innocent. So question mark in the subject line, did you receive this? I haven't heard back from you. And that's it. Now, you're like, well, I tried that a couple days and you can do it, maybe 2 or 3 times. And what if they never respond? What if they go MIA? Which does happen. I've had that happen with prospective clients, lots and lots, and I've had that happen with actual clients until I learned how to set up the program in a way that they can't disappear. And that has to do with payments and a lot of other things. But I've had the whole thing, Jessica. So people who say they want to talk and then go away is just people being people. People get squirrely is my favorite word, right? Like they're uncomfortable. It's like, I don't know what someone's individual makeup is that would make them do that, but I can tell you this is new territory for most people, right? Like most people are not like us constantly investing in themselves. No one walks around in the world, very few, like I'm needing a coach. Let's do this, right? we do know people who do that, but most people, right? So it could be that they're uncomfortable. It could be that they're being polite. That's a biggie, Jessica. Like people are like, oh, I really want to talk. Bye. They're just being polite, right? And so your job is to start to learn how to discern. Are they being polite with me? Is this maybe the conversation in the email is moving too quickly? Maybe I'm inviting too fast and I need to slow down and connect more. That's a possibility. Um, there's ways to look at what's happening to go, And because you're in Isla's school, I would really slow that down with her, and maybe she can look at that with you, because that's really important, Jessica. Like I would want to know one situation where we really use it as an example, and I have an idea for you on that. So Jessica, let's agree. We're gonna private message. I want to go to Claire Marie, who is working to get her first client. Oh, okay, Jessica, I see. Disappear means doesn't respond to text messages about scheduling. Same thing, question mark. Are you getting these texts? I'm not hearing back from you. And if you've changed your mind, totally fine to let me know. Remember, we want to give people permission to say no. The question mark is amazing, by the way. That's like a game changer. Claire Marie, your first client. Okay, so Claire Marie, and I'm going to say this for everybody who's here because this is something we all work with. Your job is to have a very low fee, like, I don't care, $50, $100, $25. Michael Neal, initially, who's a very well-known coach, works primarily in the 3 principles. $4. He was like, I'm going to get 10 clients and I'm going to charge $4 to each person. And I'm going to give them 3 sessions. I don't know what he did for $4 or 6 sessions, right? You'd have 10 clients fast, by the way. And you can set it up, Claire Marie. I'm not saying you should charge $4, by the way, but it's a great thing, right? He was really willing because he knew it's not going to stay at $4. Our fees never stay, at the beginning fee. So you want to pick a fee, and lots of people, and when we do this with people in the school who are new, we say, look, you can do this. You can say to someone who you've already maybe done some pro bono coaching with if you went through a program, but you could write to 3 people who you're not best friends with, but and you could say, hey, I'm launching my coaching practice and I am allowing 3 people to work with me at a very low fee as I get started. And the fee will be $50 for 3 coaching sessions. I'm only choosing 3 people. If this is something you'd like to do, let me know, and totally fine if no. So Claire Marie, you can pick 3 people who you're like, I'm going to make an offer to them, $50 for 3 sessions, and go for it. Make a list of 10 people. You're like, who would I be willing to write to and say, you know what, I'm launching my coaching practice. I'm opening up 3 spots at a very low fee just to get them started and me started. It's going to be $50 for 3 sessions. Is this something you'd like to do? And totally fine to say no, okay? $50, $100, $4. Our fees are always going to go up. So don't get caught up in, oh my God, but that's nothing. I can't make a living at that. Agreed. No one can make a living at $4, okay? But Michael Neal is now a highly successful coach. And he knew, I got to get started. I got to get some practice doing this. So Claire Marie, tell me if this is helpful. Okay, I want to know. So let me know in the comments. Does that give you a sense of direction, or if you have a question? Isabel, thoughts on magnetizing people through living our lives and balancing with just being enough as we are, aka the social media manifesting dialogue. Magnetizing people through living our lives. Oh, so meaning like I'm going to just do stuff on social media about what I'm up to, and that's how clients will come. I think I don't know, Isabel. I haven't found that. If I was on here just doing my laundry over social media, I'm not sure many of you would find that helpful or effective. I don't know. Like, I've never seen that work. What I've seen work is serving, right? Like doing stuff that serves people. Steve Chandler talks about this. And Claire Marie, I'm going to come back. I want to talk to you about this. he used to do these talks in the library, like free talks every Tuesday night. And initially, 2 people would come. 2. And many coaches are like, well, I'm not 2 people. That kind of stinks. 2 people. I don't want to do this for 2 people. And he always will say to people, no, you start with those 2. Start with 2, right? So if you do, look, if 2 coaches showed up on this show today, I'd be like, great, they're going to get a lot of service from me, right? It's like you start where you are. So I would encourage you, Isabel, to think about what can I serve people in that will help them in their lives versus like living my life and sort of sharing on social media like what I'm up to, because none of y'all would really care, and frankly, it would be boring. Like it'd be really boring. Like I shared one good story from the mall, but that's it. The rest is kind of boring. So Claire Marie, I love that you're moving from health coaching to transformational coaching. Okay, so that is fantastic. And one of the things you might do is like, well, if I was going to, number one, the low fee, right? 3 people, I'm shifting my practice from health coaching to transformational life coaching. So go to 3 people who you maybe have done health coaching stuff for and be like, I'm going to give you the opportunity to work with me in a really different capacity. I am expanding into transformational coaching. So I'm going to offer you 3 sessions for $50 if you'd like to experience that. So it would be a very different experience, not just with health coaching. So we have coaches in my school. We had someone, believe it or not, you heard it here. This is not technically the title, but she was a death coach. So she was a death doula, right? And she then went into death coaching, meaning when you have a family member who's getting close to the end, she would come in and they would pay a fee to have her help them, both with the physical aspects of a person like coming to the end of their lives, not the stuff, but like when they're in your home, preparing, right? Like all the medical stuff. How do you take care of someone when they're at the end of their lives in your home, right? She would do that, but she'd also help the family members, right? Because there's so much that goes on. Now she decided she wanted to transition out of just that into more life coaching. Because, death coaching can be a little narrow. You kind of have to have someone who's dying in order for that to be someone hire you. So she's transitioned into life coaching, Claire Marie, and she has done exactly this. Low fee, talking to people, I'm doing this, I am transitioning into life coaching. Would you like to be one of the first people who experiences this? And it's going to be, the fee won't stay this way. So I really support you in stepping into that. And let me know if this is helpful. Is it give you some direction? So Isabel, thank you. Meaning heavy emphasis on being magnetic, always in pleasure and radiant as a necessity. Oh no, oh yeah. I love what you wrote, like the pressure to be in Bali. I don't have I don't think it's useful, right? In my experiences, I don't want to chase someone who looks like they're living their life in Bali and their hair always looks good, right? Like I offer that being real about like, look, my life is great and it can be messy, but I'm not going to pretend with you that it's perfect. And I certainly, I don't think I'm always in pleasure and radiant, so there's that. Isabel, I think some people are really drawn to that, and you have to decide like what's true for you. Does that feel good to you? Does that feel like that's where you want to come from? I don't want to come from that. I want to come from being real, from being straight, from being like, yeah, my hair doesn't look that good today, so I'm here anyway, right? So you have to decide. I don't care if it works for someone and they end up making money. That's fantastic. This way of learning how to grow a coaching business is through service and slowing down and connecting and doing the work. Effort is involved here. This is not a one and done kind of thing. And it can be easy, right, to get caught up in the sparkly, let me make a Facebook post. But Facebook posts don't lead to clients. There's work to be done, even when you do a Facebook post. So what I mean by that is you can make a really profound Facebook post and people comment on it. And if you're not learning how to connect with those people who are commenting, that's going to be a challenge, right? Because those are people that are saying you're sharing something that's important. But if we don't learn how to connect and slow down with those people who are commenting, a Facebook post in and of itself will not lead to clients. And the same is true of an Instagram post. It's not like they magically become our client. Once in a while, someone will be like, hey, I want to talk to you. The job is learning how to nurture and connect, to how to take someone from a comment in a Facebook post into actually serving them, right? That is something to learn how to do, and it takes time and attention. The people I know that have become really strong, successful coaches in this context are the ones who've been like, I'm going to learn how to connect and serve. I'm going to learn how to connect and serve. That's my job. And I'm going to be willing to start at low fees, and I'm going to get practice. So my experiences, like when Michelle and I were starting out with our coach, who we hired to help us do this, it was like we sent him every email we sent, and he slowed it way down, and he'd be like, what would make you think that saying that line would be helpful to someone? Most coaches in their emails are not communicating. They're communicating about themselves, and they're not connecting with the person. They're talking about their coaching. They are not actually connecting with the person. I just saw an email the other day where somebody was like, and coaching with me is like, it's like this and it's like that and this will happen. And I said to them, that is about you. Like, that's not connecting. It's like if you have emails you're sending and it's about me, my coaching, I, that's a sign that there's opportunities to learn how to write differently in your communications. It's one of my favorite things to do. Kyle, I love that you're here. Carolyn is reviewing a lot of my emails these days. It's so helpful. Kyle is a coach in my school at the CFJ school. Kyle is such a great example of a coach who got in there, was like, I'm laying it all on the table. I will have these people look at every email I do. And he's really willing to be uncomfortable. He's really willing to be like, what did I miss here? He's open to seeing the nuance. And the biggest thing is he's completely converted how he writes in terms of he's writing to the person about the person. He is connecting. Yep. Kyle's in the school, Brianna. So he is such a good example, Kyle. So I'm calling him out here. I know he's okay with it, or he wouldn't have made a post. Kyle's like, he uses our Facebook page. He's like, I'm okay, posting this email draft, posting that email draft, and he's really willing to get coaching on it. And he's really willing for us to dismantle the sentences where he sounds like he might be more about himself than about them. And his entire writing has changed. It's been such a joy, Kyle, to see you shift in that. His writing, he just posted this comment. My writing has become so much more professional. And that is the truth. Like many people, especially in this profession, when we're writing to people, we're in sort of social mode. We're like, we don't do it consciously, but we want to be liked. We're like, hey, how's it going? And there's a lot of social stuff in there, and we don't even know it. And Kyle, believe me, the emails that Michelle and I would send to Steve Chandler, he'd be like, are you writing to your best friend in high school? Who is this email for? And we'd be like, what do you mean? So learning how to write as a professional coach from being a professional coach is what will change how someone responds to you. Because often in this profession, we sort of sound like we want to be someone's friend, like when we're writing, and they get confused. They're like, is coaching about being someone's friend? I don't know. This person keeps writing to me, and I don't know. Like, I don't understand how that profession works. Like, is this what they do? When you learn how to write as a professional, whether you're inviting someone to come and sit with you, or it's just you're interacting with them about a session, about a conversation, being a strong professional is a game changer because people respond in kind. They're like, oh, this person knows what they're doing. They're leading. Oh, they have a process they do. It's about them feeling safe and contained. They're like, oh, this person has steps that they're going to take me through, and they're real and they're genuine and they know what they're doing. Nobody wants to feel like I'm corresponding with someone who seems really nervous and sort of talks like they're my friend, but I don't understand this. Nobody wants that. They're just like, I don't know. This person's like, I shared this story in the post I made about this show. It's one of my favorite stories. When I was teaching the coaching program at the University of Santa Monica, they had a soul-centered professional coaching program. Steve Chandler, Michelle Bauman, and myself helped create the program with Doctors Ron and Mary Hulnick, who are the co-directors of the amazing University of Santa Monica, where I earned my graduate degree in spiritual psychology. They asked Steve, like, would you do this program? And Steve said yes, and the two grads you want are Michelle and Carolyn to do this because they've done this and they use everything that they learned from you at USM. So we're in the classroom and we're talking about emailing potential clients, and how many of us embed much too social stuff into our emails. And this coach, who's an amazing coach, raises her hand and she's like, are you saying that if I put like XO, ciao, like heart, love you, that's not professional? We laughed so hard, we almost fell off our chairs. We were like, only if you don't want to get a client and have someone pay you, right? This is a new profession. I really want everyone to hear this. This is a new profession. Our job, at least this is what I'm taking a stand for, is learning how to professionalize the profession, right? It's like, it doesn't mean you can't be warm. It doesn't mean you can't be fun. It doesn't mean you can't be loving. But part of the opportunity in this profession is to professionalize who we are. So if you haven't had a job prior to this where you learned how to be a professional, part of your job is, oh, I need to learn how to write emails and sound like a professional while still being my loving self. I need to learn how to be in a conversation with someone live and lead them while still being myself and be a strong professional. It is what will help you get clients. When I got more professional, it helped me. People wanted to say yes to me because I seemed like I knew what I was doing in the process. So that's huge. All right, we are almost at the end of the show. This is episode number 2. Let me know in the comments, was this helpful? What would you want to hear about next week? And if you're open next week, who's open to like, hey, I'd be open to being coached live. The requirements are you have to have something you're working with right now, a potential client situation or a question about growing your business. So you have to have something, right? We want it to be meaty for the people watching. And what are the questions, like what would be helpful to you in growing your business that we could cover in the coming weeks on the show? Because I love doing it, but I actually want to have someone here live with me coaching so that it's not all me just talking. As much as, I could say I love the sound of my own voice, probably not everybody does. Melissa Moody, I'm glad it was helpful. So tell me, right, what do you need help on right now? What do you need help with? What are you challenged by in growing your business? And what are you trying to do? Are you I want to get 3 clients right now. I want to get 1 client. I want to learn how to fill a group. Tell me what would be helpful and we will cover it. Oh, okay, Stacy, transition from friends into a professional conversation. Excellent. We can do more of that. What else do I want to say to you with 1 minute left? I want to say to you, this is the best profession on the planet, as Steve Chandler would say. I want to say to you, there's not too many coaches. There's a whole narrative about, oh, there's too many coaches. I don't want to go do that. That's not accurate. There's 8 billion people on the planet. There is a client who wants your water and wants to be served by you. So do not be dismayed at how many people are coming into the profession. It's important and more are coming, and that's great news. I want you to know that. Francine, I'm glad this was helpful. Oh, how to professionally write emails. Martha, I love it. Okay, Kyle, open to being coached. Fill a group. Excellent. So fun, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today to the CFJ Coaching the Success School show. Stacy, Sarah Goodson, I love it. More to come. Come back next week. Tell your friends who are coaches. I want to help as many as I can because it's the best profession on the planet, people. Have a fabulous day and go do stuff right now. Don't stay on Facebook. Go start to connect and write some emails. Asia. All right. Excellent. Love it. See you next week, people. Take good care.